In the hustling and bustling Beijing sits a unique coffee house. It boasts coffee of varieties from different regions in Ethiopia. The founder of the coffee house is Jilin, 48 years old. Li has always been a coffee lover, but his true knowledge about coffee starts with a trip to Ethiopia. Since then, his life has been tightly bound to coffee.
我们呢和埃塞驻华使馆一起，在北京的高碑店成立了埃塞俄比亚咖啡文化中心，推广埃塞的咖啡文化，使更多的人呢能了解这些对我们中国人来说比较新奇的事情。每年的10月到来年的1月呢，都是我们在埃塞产区最忙的时候。这几个月的工作呢，决定了我们接下来在国内呢整个咖啡销售的产品的最核心的一个时间环节。
In Ethiopia, where there are people, there will be the aroma of coffee. Coffee has become an indispensable part of their lives.
埃塞俄比亚的咖啡文化呢，源远流长，就像我们中国的茶文化一样。家里来了中贵的客人，家里的主妇一定要给大家去煮咖啡，然后大家呢围坐在咖啡边上，一聊天可能就2个小时、3个小时，他才能把整个的咖啡仪式全部的进行完。
Ethiopians have at least 3 coffee ceremonies each day. The omnipresent street coffee is the most beautiful view in Ethiopia. It is a symbol of the most authentic and simple cultural customs of Ethiopia, and what attracted Jilin in the first place. Located in the East Africa, Ethiopia lies within the tropical latitudes. But, sitting on the plateau, most regions have a mild climate throughout the year. The unique natural condition creates a favorable environment for coffee to grow. Ethiopia is the birthplace of coffee. The English word coffee comes from a place in Ethiopia, Kaffa, the origin of coffee plant. As one of the world's 3 major beverages, coffee is a gift that Ethiopia brings to the world.
1, 2, 3.
All along, Ethiopia's coffee production has been done in the traditional way. And coffee beans account for more than 90% of its export.
随着基础设施的变化呢，越来越多的外国人，越来越多的机会涌入到这个咖啡核心产区以后呢，给咖农带来了更多的新的视野。然后呢，咖农呢也知道了有更多的处理方法呢，能给他们的咖啡呢提供更高的附加值。
Mr. Lee ሀሳቡን ወደ እኛ በአጭር ጊዜ ውስጥ እንዲሳብ ካደረገው ነገር አንዱ ማህበራቶችን በማደራጀት በማስገኘት ከፍተኛ የውጭ ምንዛሪ አስገኝተናል። በቡናም ዘርፍ ደግሞ እንደዛው ነው። የሥራ ዕድሎችን በመፍጠር ረገድ ደግሞ ብዙ የሥራ ዕድሎችን ፈጥረናል።
Abiot is the first friend that Jilin made in Ethiopia, and he's also Lin's partner. It is because of Abiot that Jilin decided to take coffee as his lifelong career. Nearly 20% of Ethiopia's 100 million people live on the coffee industry. The singing signals bounty coffee harvest. Their passion for life also touches Jilin.
我接触咖啡也仅仅是5年的时间，但是呢，因为个人对咖啡有一个强烈的热爱，可能这也是一种情怀，就是多种原因促成了我在这边能长期的去深入下去，扎根下去。
When Jilin first arrived in Ethiopia, he hoped to bring change to the lives of the local people. But after living here for some time, he found himself to have the biggest change. What he gained here is not only his beloved coffee, but also friendship and happiness. The traditional coffee ceremony is the most unique coffee culture in Ethiopia. In her spare time, she gathers with local friends to make a cup of coffee in the traditional Ethiopian way. Those things help Ma Futao feel a comfortable life. She will spread grass across the floor, burn incense, wash the beans, roast them on hot coals, and grind them up. Then she will brew the coffee in a black clay coffee pot, known as a jabina, and enjoy it with a bowl of popcorn. For Ma Futao, the coffee ceremony can make her focus on the present and forget her worries. This time-honored ceremony reflects the thousands of years of cultural heritage of Ethiopia. In 2005, when Ma Futao first came to Ethiopia, she fell in love with the country instantly and stayed. When introducing herself, she always says her name is Habisha, which means Ethiopian girl.
我觉得就是什么呢？就是这个融入很重要。你融入了以后的话，你就会特别有这种归属感、认同感。其实有的时候经常会讲说家，什么是家呀？此处安心是我家。
Ma Futao has a friendship between generations in Ethiopia. Recently, the grand old man published an autobiographical art book. Ma Futao wants to hold a new book press conference for him. But, unfortunately, he accidentally broke his arm a few days ago. This 92-year-old but hale man is Lema Gaya, a national treasure-level painting master of Ethiopia. This is his home, also the Lema Art Gallery that he built. One of his major artistic explorations was to paint on goatskin, which not only created a new art form, but also reflected the unique culture of Africa. Lema has witnessed nearly 100 years of changes in Ethiopia, and he can be called a living history of Ethiopia. He wanted to reflect the spiritual heritage of the nation through his works of art. For this purpose, he wrote and published this book, From Herding to Lemmism, to record everything he knew and experienced.
He's artist also.
Look, the crown prince, the first man who opened the black festival in Ethiopia.
Ethiopia, located in northeast Africa, is the cradle of African civilization, language, and art. Its written history is more than 3,000 years leaving many cultural heritages for the world. The Fazl Gebi Castle on the northwest plateau of Ethiopia is one of the most important symbols of the Ethiopian history and culture. It used to be the residence of several generations of kings. The palace complex was surrounded by a 900-meter-long city wall. The rough stone mosaic is the embodiment of the Ethiopian tradition. It also has the Spanish and Arabic architectural styles. The ancient city of Gondar, where the castle is located, is one of the 3 ancient capitals of Ethiopia. Throughout the 2 centuries, from the early 17th century to 1868, it has been the capital of Ethiopia and has had its heyday. Many castles and churches are preserved to this day. This church, built in the 17th century, is the most representative. The gorgeous murals attract tourists from all over the world. In Lalibela, there is a rock church reputed as the Miracle of Africa. It was an extraordinary creation of the 12th and 13th century Christian civilization that flourished in Ethiopia. 800 years ago, it took 6,000 workers 24 years to cut it out of huge rock. It shows the wisdom and firm belief of the people of Ethiopia. When Ma Futao visited Lemagaya again, the legendary old man had fully recovered. Moreover, he created a work for the 50th anniversary. This was a pleasant surprise. From a little shepherd boy to a painting master, this century-old man had gone through the vicissitudes of a century, recorded the history and culture of Ethiopia with his works. His works also depicted people's sincere expectations for a better world. Addis Ababa is a state-level city. The city is home to more than 80 different ethnic groups who speak more than 80 languages. Ethiopia is a religious country. Almost everyone has their own religious beliefs. Like Chinese, Ethiopians also attach great importance to family reunion. Amir's holiday is coming to an end. She will leave this warm African plateau and return to Changchun, the city of ice and snow.
And in China.
The building, and in this clinical...
Amir studies clinical medicine in the Bethune Medical Department of Jilin University in China. It has been her ambition since childhood to help patients relieve their pain.
ሞስትሊ በሕክምናው ዘርፍ እነሱ ብዙ አቅም ስላላቸው ብዙ ኢኩፕመንቶች ስላላቸው ብዙ ዶክተሮች ስላሏቸው ብዙ ነገር ሊያግዙ ይችላሉ ብዬ አስባለሁ። ኢትዮጵያ ቻይና ሪሌሽን ብለን ራሱ በሆስፒታሎች ደረጃ በሕክምናው ዘርፍ ብናደርገው ብዙ ለውጦች ሊመጡ ይችላሉ። ሆስፒታሎችን በማቋቋም ላይ ኢኩፕመንቶችን የእነሱን ኤክስፒሪየንስ በመውሰድ
Amir also has a group of friends from Ethiopia in Changchun who are pursuing different degrees and majors. For them, studying in China is of great significance to their future development. Jiang Jiran, 25, is a volunteer at the Confucius Institute of Vocational Education in Ethiopia for 2 years. Before returning home, he wants to help Wang Zhuai fulfill his wish to study in China.
你想要申请中国的院校，你必须要过 HSK 3级，而且必须要180分以上。所以我今天来给你辅导一下，因为我也希望你可以通过这次考试去中国。你看这个词
Daniel Alam is a senior high school student. His Chinese name is Wang Shuai. Under the guidance of Zhang Jiaoran, he was the champion of the 2019 Chinese Bridge Chinese Proficiency Competition for foreign high school students in Ethiopia. He also won a scholarship to study in China. Now, for Wang Shuai, the most important thing is to pass the Chinese proficiency test and apply for school.
In Guangzhou.
Guangzhou. Oh, the famous city.
Yeah, the famous city.
Wang Shuai's father has always been harboring great love for China. It was with his influence and encouragement that Wang Shuai started to study Chinese.
可能对你会有一点点难，但是老师相信你啊，我觉得你肯定能通过的。我相信他 ，I trust him， 加油啊！我以前不会做饭，没有人给我做饭，所以我自己学会了。我相信你到中国以后，啊，也会有很大的成长。好。
Zhang's 2-year volunteer experience in Ethiopia has also made him more mature. This is his first time to live alone, far away from his hometown. He wants to share his experience with Wang Shuai. When Wang Shuai learned that his teacher had not yet visited the National Museum of Ethiopia, he arranged the trip.
熊猫，熊猫，对对对，埃塞的瓦利亚，哦对瓦利亚。Good morning， 这个是hippo， 嗯哼，
现在已经灭绝了。
对，3,200,000 years.
What makes Wang Shuai proud at the National Museum of Ethiopia is the fossil skeleton known as human grandmother. She has a beautiful name, Lucy. Lucy was discovered in 1974 in the Afar Depression of Ethiopia. 3.2 million years ago, she was a 20-year-old lady and is now considered to be the first human to walk upright. Therefore, Ethiopia is recognized as the origin of human beings. When people stand in front of Lucy, the course of human life inadvertently elicits a common emotion. A famous Chinese saying goes that, though born 1,000 miles apart, souls which are one shall meet. It gives vivid expression to the friendship between the two young men. It also interprets Confucius's hope that within the 4 seas, all men are brothers.
faster than this one and has more function like multimedia, right? So next semester, my plan is we will teach this one. By the way, you know now the most.
Jiang is an excellent teacher of technology. In 2009, he took the initiative to apply to go to Africa and participate in vocational education.
其实我是希望能把知识尽快全都传播给他们，然后他们自己可以掌握知识。我能够离开这儿，这是我真心内心想的，就是他们可以独立自主的，就包括他们的教育和工业能发展起来。
The Confucius Institute of Vocational Education in Ethiopia has been running for 11 years. Besides teaching Chinese, the institute also pays more attention to vocational and technical education and the cultivation of vocational teachers.
እዚህ ግቢ የቴክኖሎጂ ትምህርቶች ናቸው የሚሰጡት። ለምሳሌ ማኑፋክቸሪንግ፣ ኤሌክትሮኒክስ፣ አውቶሞቲቭ ቴክኖሎጂ። ስለዚህ በእጃቸው ሰርተው ነገ ሲወጡ ስራ ፈጣሪ የመሆን እድላቸው ሰፊ ይሆናል ማለት ነው። አመጣጣቸው ከመምህርነት ቢሆንም ተመልሰውም የሚሄዱት ወደ መምህርነት ስለሆነ
One thing I would like to see is a strong partnership between Ethiopian youth and Chinese youth because we have a strong diplomatic relationship between the two countries. So if we want that relationship to really go in far future.
When he found some, if you too close, yeah, keep that, keep a distance, don't too close. If you too close. 作为工业技术崛起的一个支撑，就是教育支撑，职业教育是密不可分的。每当我上课的时候，看到学生那个热切的渴求知识的眼神，就真的是觉得离不开这里。
Because we are a teacher, so we bring back to our respective region. So I give or I share my knowledge for our students.
We have seen a very sophisticated robotics, from simple to the sophisticated electronics and robotics. I find it very interesting. And it's very helpful. Now, today we have attended the class of the watering plants automatically by using the humidity sensor because it's technology, it's future advancement technology.
They was study about the microcontroller. They support me and I was, I'm a good programmer from there.
Geo Yang applied after Jiang came to the vocational education in Ethiopia because they share the same vision and ideal.
我们来了以后呢，都在这里进行专业技术教学，而且我们俩互相扶持吧。如果在工作或者生活中间碰到低谷的时候，还可以互相鼓励。
去年9月份是我母亲就带着孩子来了，然后觉得特别幸福。
佳丽姐这个名字。我给孩子起了个名字叫江天亚，就是那个亚字就表示亚的斯亚维巴，当地的孩子也叫他这个当地名字叫阿迪斯。
Geo Yang and Jiang have been integrated into the life in this sincere, pure, and beautiful African plateau. Time, warm and mild, is shining on everyone. Time also has magical power. It allows you to see your own transformation.